Most people think the truck market is just slowing down right now. It's not. It's collapsing, and it's happening a lot faster than anyone expected. We're not talking about normal depreciation. We're talking about trucks losing $10, $15, even $20,000 in value in a matter of months. Not years, months. And somewhere out there, someone bought one of these trucks just a few months ago, paid full price, drove it home feeling like they made a solid decision, only to find out today they're already buried in negative equity. So here's the question you need to ask yourself right now. Is your truck one of them? Because what's happening in the truck market right now isn't just a correction, it's a chain reaction. And most people don't even see it until it's already too late. And once you understand how this started, the whole situation becomes a lot harder to ignore. 5 years ago, a well-equipped pickup truck cost somewhere around $40,000 to $45,000. Expensive, sure, but still within reach for a lot of buyers. Then, everything changed. Supply chains broke down. Inventory disappeared. Dealership lots were empty, and suddenly, if you wanted a truck, you had almost no options. That's when manufacturers realized something dangerous. People would pay almost anything, so prices went up. Then they went up again, and again. By the time things stabilized, that same truck that used to cost $45,000 was now sitting at $65,000, $70,000, even $80,000, depending on the trim. And buyers kept signing, not because the trucks made more sense, but because the monthly payment still looked manageable. That's the part nobody talks about. The focus shifted from total price to monthly payment. As long as the payment worked, people didn't question the bigger number. But now, inventory is back. Lots are full again, and suddenly those inflated prices don't make sense anymore. So dealers started cutting. $8,000 off, $10,000 off. In some cases, $20,000 just to move inventory. And that's exactly where the real problem begins. Because the moment a brand new truck drops $10,000 in price, every used version of that same truck instantly becomes less valuable. Not slowly, not over time, immediately. Why would anyone pay $50,000 for a used truck with miles on it, when a brand new one is sitting right next to it for nearly the same price? That single shift is crushing the used market, and the people getting hit the hardest are the ones who bought at the peak. Think about it. You bought a truck a year ago. Maybe you got a small discount, $2,000 or $3,000, and felt like you made a good deal. Today, that same truck is being sold brand new with a discount twice that size. Before you even factor in mileage, you're already behind. Then you add depreciation the moment you drive it off the lot. Then you add the reality that a dealer will offer you thousands less than what it's actually worth on trade. It stacks up fast, and none of those numbers are moving in your favor. And no truck shows this problem more clearly than the one that's been dominating the market for decades, the Ford F-150. For over 40 years, it's been the best-selling vehicle in America. That sounds like a strength. Right now, it's actually part of the problem, because when you sell that many units, you also create the largest group of owners exposed to depreciation at the same time. Ford didn't just raise prices during the peak, they pushed them aggressively. Trucks that used to sit in the mid-40s climbed into the 60s, 70s, even higher on premium trims. And people bought them. Now fast forward to today. Ford is offering massive discounts, $8,000, $9,000, sometimes $10,000 off, and pairing it with 0% financing just to get buyers back in the door. Sounds like a great deal, until you realize what it's doing to used values. Used F-150s are now sitting just a few $1,000s below brand new ones. That gap is too small. Buyers see that and choose new ones every time, which means used trucks just sit. And when inventory sits, dealers get desperate. And when dealers get desperate, your trade-in offer drops. That's the cycle. And it's not just Ford. Chevy and GMC are dealing with the same situation. In some ways, even worse. Silverado and Sierra prices climbed into the $70,000 range on higher trims. Now the discounts have started hitting hard. $6,000 off, $8,000 off, sometimes more. But here's where it gets interesting. Some dealerships have stopped putting prices on the trucks entirely. No window stickers, no visible discounts. Just a QR code telling you to come inside. That's not confidence. That's control. They don't want you standing on the lot comparing numbers, because the gap between expectation and reality is too big. And when you walk over to the used side, the situation becomes even clearer. You'll find trucks with 20 or 30,000 miles priced close to new ones, which kills demand instantly. Even the electric Silverado is getting hit. Prices dropping fast, incentives stacking up, and suddenly, what looked like a deal last year doesn't look like one anymore. And if you thought that was bad, Ram took it even further. No brand pushed prices harder during the peak than Ram. And now, no brand is correcting harder either. We're seeing discounts as high as $20,000 on some models. That's not a sale, that's a reset. A truck listed at $63,000 suddenly drops to $53,000 overnight. That sounds great for a new buyer. But if you bought that same truck 6 months ago, you just lost $10,000 on paper instantly. Now walk over to the used section. You'll see older Ram trucks, same engine, similar setup, for $20,000 to $30,000 less. That's where things get uncomfortable. Because now the question isn't just new versus used. It's whether that extra $20,000 is actually doing anything for you. And there's another issue creeping in. Ram is shifting from the Hemi V8 to the new Hurricane twin-turbo engine. Buyers aren't fully sure which direction to trust yet, and uncertainty in the market always pushes prices down. Even Toyota, known for holding value better than almost anyone, is feeling the pressure. They didn't inflate prices as aggressively. They didn't overload inventory the same way, and their reputation still carries weight. But when competitors start dropping prices by $10,000 or $20,000, that pressure spreads. New Tundras are getting discounted. Used ones are sitting in an awkward middle ground. But here's where it gets interesting. The real value isn't in the newest models. It's hiding in the older ones. The previous generation Tundra with the 5.7-liter V8. That engine has a reputation for running forever. And right now, you can find those trucks for significantly less than newer models, even with higher mileage. Meanwhile, the newer twin-turbo engines have already had enough issues to make some buyers hesitate. And hesitation always affects value. Which brings us to a part of the market most people aren't even paying attention to. The trucks are getting hit the hardest. Mid-sized trucks like the Colorado, Canyon, and Ranger are stuck in a bad position. They got inflated during the shortage. But now full-size trucks are discounted so heavily that the price gap barely exists. So buyers skip mid-size entirely. That demand shift is crushing their values. The Ford Maverick tells a different version of the same story. At one point, people were flipping them above MSRP. Now the market has corrected, and those buyers are sitting on losses. Nissan trucks are struggling even more due to reputation concerns. And then there's the extreme case, the Ram TRX, a truck that was selling tens of thousands over MSRP at the peak. Now those values have dropped back down, and some owners are sitting on losses that are hard to even process. But here's where everything flips. Because the same collapse that's hurting sellers is creating one of the best buying opportunities we've seen in years, if you know where to look. Right now, some of the strongest deals are hiding in plain sight. Ram is offering some of the biggest discounts in the market. Toyota's older V8 trucks are proving to be long-term value plays. Certain Silverado models hit a sweet spot around 20,000 to 30,000 miles, where the price finally makes sense. And Ford's 0% financing, in some cases, it actually makes buying new more logical than buying used. But only if the numbers line up. Because the biggest mistake you can still make right now is focusing on the monthly payment. That's how this whole situation started. And that's exactly what dealerships are still hoping you'll do. The real numbers are in the total cost, the discount, the depreciation, the resale value. That's the math that actually matters. And there's one more truth about this entire situation that nobody really wants to say out loud. This didn't happen by accident. Manufacturers knew exactly how far they were pushing prices. Dealers knew buyers would focus on monthly payments, and lenders kept approving longer and longer loans to make everything look affordable. It was designed to work. Until it didn't, and now the people paying for that system are the ones who bought at the peak. But the buyers who win in this market, they're doing the opposite. They're slowing down. They're comparing new and used before making a decision. They're looking past the discount and asking what the truck was worth 6 months ago. And most importantly, they're not trusting the first number they see on the window. Because right now, the deal isn't on the sticker, it's in the timing. And if you understand that, this market stops being something to fear and starts becoming something you can actually take advantage of. And if you're not paying attention, it's the kind of mistake that can cost you tens of thousands of dollars without you even realizing it.